already been learning about fractions, so this is just going to be a really quick review on adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. The first thing we're going to do is look at adding fractions. We know whenever we're adding fractions that the denominator does matter, that the two fractions need to have a common denominator. In this case, right now, we have 3/4 plus 2/3. The common denominator for these two would be 12. So we're going to multiply each of these by 3 and each of these by 4. That will give us our new common denominator. And our new fractions will be 9/12 plus 8/12. Now we'll simply go across the top and add. However, the denominator will stay the same, which is 12. 9 plus 8 is 17. We all know that this is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So we're going to reduce it. This says 17 divided by 12. So we're going to set that up. And we know that 12 can go into 17 one time. Subtract. And we get 5, which is our remainder. To create a mixed fraction out of that, we will take our whole number 1, make it our whole number. The remainder 5 will be our numerator. And the original denominator and what the fraction was divided by will be our denominator. So our final answer would be 1 5/12. Next, we're going to move on to subtracting fractions. We will also need to find a common denominator, and for this we know that that would be 6 because that is the lowest number that each of these can go into. So we'll multiply by 2 and by 2. And that will give us our new equation of 2 1/6 minus 1 4/6. Alright, our next step will be to subtract the numerators. We know that we cannot subtract 1 minus 4. We'll have to go over to the 2 and borrow, making him a 1. We will add 6 over 6 to our 1/6 and get 7/6. That is because we borrowed a 1 from the 2, and 6 over 6 is equivalent to 1. Now we can subtract 7 minus 4, which gives us 3/6. And 1 minus 1 is 0. We can reduce this. The largest number that can go into both of these is 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3, and that will give us our new fraction and final answer of 1/2. Alright, we're going to move on to multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is a little different because you do not have to have a common denominator. You simply multiply straight across, numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. We know that 2 times 1 is 2 and 6 times 2 is 12. This fraction can be reduced. It's not improper, so we do not have to set up division. We simply need to find the largest number that can go into both 2 and 12, and we know that that would be 2. So our final answer would be 1/6. We're going to move on to the next multiplication problem. This one is a little different because we have a mixed fraction that we need to turn into an improper fraction. We'll do the method that we've already learned. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Our denominator will stay the same, which is 3, and then we bring down the other fraction. This fraction does not have to be changed, and then we simply multiply straight across just like above. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 3 times 4 is 12. Our final answer would be 5/12. Next, we're going to move on to dividing fractions. Like we've talked about, the first number indicates the picture that we will draw. In this case, we will draw one picture, divide it in half, shade one side to represent our 1/2. Then we will cut this into 3 additional pieces. And now we can see that we have a total of 6 pieces, 1 being circled, so our final answer would be 1/6. Make sure we always draw our picture to help us find our answer. The next one is also division, but this time we have a whole number first. That tells us that we will draw 4 squares. And our fraction is 1/3, which lets us know that we will cut each of these squares into 3 pieces. Now all we have to do is simply count how many pieces total there are now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 divided by 1/3 gives us a final answer of 12.